is enough said.
Happy Wednesday, Heat Nation! Hump Day! Yo, boy Ernest here, back with another Miami Heat Talk video, guys. You know what I'm gonna ask? Show some support, like the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel because we are pushing to 6,000 subscribers, and together, let's go on another Miami Heat Talk adventure. Now, 2 more days. The Miami Heat are back in action this Friday against the Toronto Raptors. So it's great fitting, you guys. It's going to be beautiful to see these final 29 games. The Miami Heat are currently the 9th seed in the Eastern Conference, but they're only 3 games down from the 6th seed. So they have a fighting chance to do it. Now, I want to touch a little bit on the video that I cut yesterday before today's topic, you guys. I made a video yesterday about the possibility of the Miami Heat tanking. In no way, shape, or form do I believe that the Miami Heat are going to tank to get a better draft position. That is not Miami Heat culture. Now, and I understand after trading Jimmy Butler, it looks like the dog-like mentality in this team is gone. And you know what? It is kind of right. This team is not having the same identity after trading Jimmy Butler. But that's okay. You're going to the next phase, the next transition. We went from the Dwayne Wade era to the Hassan Whiteside era for a couple years. You have to have a couple silver years in order to have a gold year. Sometimes you got to have a bronze year or not even a medal year at all. But this Miami Heat team always tries. That's one thing I'll say about this team. They always try. Because let's be real. If we try to tank, we'll just fall on our face, i.e. 2008 Michael Beasley. So the Heat ain't going to tank. They're going to always try to get better. And if you tell the Miami Heat that they're only 3 games down from the play-in, they're not going to go the other way. They're going to fight to get that play-in spot. And this team, you guys, the way that it's currently comprised, it's not a bad team. I think this Miami Heat team currently constructed can be a top 6 team in the East. We just need to get it together. Now, a way that you can get it together is by additional help. Trade deadline is closed. The only thing that you can do right now is pick up a player via buyout. The buyout period ends March 1st. The Miami Heat still have a couple of weeks to make an addition on this roster. Now, a couple days ago, I did a video about the possibility of the Miami Heat getting Malcolm Brogdon. There are slight rumors that Malcolm Brogdon may get bought out from Washington. But one thing I forgot to mention in the video that people were saying in the comments that I have mentioned in the past in other buyout videos, but I just didn't mention in this particular one, but I'll say it here. The Miami Heat have a full roster on this team. You have 15 players signed, 3 two-way contracts. The Heat technically cannot add a player to this roster. However, you have players on this team that you can release to add a roster spot. Keshad Johnson, Alec Burks, Drew Smith. They're people that you can release, that you can hold an extra roster spot. Do the Heat do it or not? That's yet to be seen. But one player I want to talk about, you guys, with the possibility of getting bought out, is a player that used to be on this Miami Heat team, Kelly Olynyk. And the reason why I'm mentioning Kelly Olynyk, you guys, is because in the Malcolm Brogdon video, a lot of you in the comments were saying, we don't need Brogdon. We need size. We need a big man. Okay, so that's what this video is about. But if we're being even more real, you guys, the Heat don't need to add a buyout player. I think the Heat are good enough as constructed. I see 9 to 10 players that are rotational pieces that can help this team now. Kelly Olynyk, Bam Adebayo, Andrew Wiggins, Tyler Hero, Davion Mitchell starting. With Duncan Robinson, Terry Rozier, Nikola Jovic, and Jaime Jaquez coming off the bench, having Haywood Highsmith and Alec Burks as your defensive and offensive microwave off the bench, and also throw in Kyle Anderson a little bit. Those are 12 active players that you can use. But the point is, you guys, the reason why you want to get one of these buyout players, these buyout players are not going to win you an NBA championship, but they can help you win a couple of games, a few games here or there. And that's the big thing about this Eastern Conference. The margin of error is so tight. If you win 3 games in a row, you could be a top 6 team. But if you lose 4 games in a row like the Miami Heat have done, you can fall from that top 6 contention and go down to the 9th seed, which is what we're currently under. So if you're able to add a player via buyout that can help you win now, you do it. And let's be honest, you guys, yes, it'll be really nice if the Miami Heat possibly don't make the playoffs and have 2 first round draft picks in the 2025 draft, having our pick if we don't make the playoffs and the Golden State Warriors pick if they don't fall top 10. You could potentially have 2 first round players. But guys, remember, if you miss the playoffs this season, you will lose 2 future first round draft picks. You will lose your 2026 draft pick to the OKC Thunder, and you will lose your 2028 draft pick to the Charlotte Hornets, and these picks go to those teams unprotected, which means no matter how you do in the regular season, they will get your pick. So that's why I've said it is important for the Heat not to tank. It is important for the Heat to make the playoffs this season. So that way you can get those 2 draft picks back, which become protected, lifted, and now you can potentially add in a trade to better this team. Making the playoffs this season gives the Miami Heat more draft flexibility. You're already going to have Golden State's 2025 pick. If they make the bottom 10 this year, you'll get their pick next year unprotected. You still win. So adding a guy like Kelly Olynyk, you guys, can help the Miami Heat. Now look, I think the big man rotation is fine. Having Kelly Olynyk and Bam Adebayo as the Bass brothers up court, having Nikola Jovic come off the bench for one of those guys, and having Kevin Love waiting in the wings just in case if somebody gets injured, I think it's fine. But if you have a way to upgrade and help that big man rotation, why not entertain the idea? Kelly Olynyk, you guys, this season playing for the Toronto Raptors. He's played 24 games so far, only 16 minutes averaging. But in those 16 minutes, he's giving you 7 points a game, almost 4 rebounds, 2.5 assists, shooting 50% from the field, 44% from the three-point line, and 79% from the free throw line. Kelly Olynyk played with the Miami Heat for 4 seasons. He was a great complementary position right next to Bam Adebayo. This is a guy that could be a spark off the bench. This is a guy that has playoff pedigree. More experience than Nikola Jovic. Nikola Jovic can learn from Kelly Olynyk. They have a little bit of similar playing styles. He's a 7-foot body, another big that it's versatile. He can score, he can hit the 3, he can rebound, and he can facilitate. Now, it was reported last week that after Kelly Olynyk was traded to the New Orleans Pelicans, that the GM David Griffin was saying that they may want to keep him on the roster. But I'll be honest with you guys. When a GM or an agent says anything, I don't believe it. I take it with a grain of salt. Kelly Olynyk was traded to the New Orleans Pelicans. They're not contending for anything. They're tanking. Yes, he might be getting a little bit of minutes with Zion out, but Kelly Olynyk is a contender. He's at the point of his career where I'm sure he wants to win. He's been playing for bad teams ever since he was traded from the Miami Heat. Well, I mean, he did play with Utah in the 2023 season, but still, he hasn't really been contending since he's left Miami. The last time Kelly Olynyk contended was in the Miami Heat for the 2020 championship in the bubble. Add Kelly Olynyk on this roster, I think he brings a huge dynamic. So Heat Nation, I want to hear from you. If Kelly Olynyk is bought out, do you think it would be smart for the Miami Heat to go after him? Who do you think the Miami Heat should release to give a roster spot? Keyshawn Johnson, Alec Burks, let Drew Smith go even after tearing his Achilles. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe as we continue our push for 6,000 subscribers. Thank you guys so much for the continued support. And until next time, your boy Ernest out. And that is enough said.